Hey, this is Victor Antonio looking into my inbox, and I got a good one. I got this from Melbourne, Australia, or Australia, right? It comes from first letter E, didn't give me the first name, but last name Pradyumna. I think I got that right. E. Pradyumna writes the following. He says, Dear Victor, I have a serious and big question for you, and what I want is you to answer this through a video because you've never really addressed this in any of your other videos. And my question to you is, how do you greet customers and engage them in a conversation and make a sale if you know they have exhibited no interest on your product at first sight? Now that's a tough question. There's a lot this is a loaded question because there's a lot of stuff in here, so let me read it again. How to greet customers and engage them into a conversation, one, and make a sale if they've shown no interest, exhibited no interest in your product at first sight. Well, let's talk about the engage piece. When somebody walks into your store, let's use a retail store as an example. And I'll start out with my favorite example, which is Starbucks. When you walk into Starbucks, they never said, how can we help you? They always say, what can we get started for you today? The assumption is that they already know you're in there to buy coffee. Duh, that's the obvious one, right? So they're telling you basically, what can I get you started with today? So they know, the assumption there is that you're already going to buy coffee. So when somebody walks into your facility, again, what question could you ask? There's another store that basically when you walk in and they sell lumber, home tools, and things of that nature, they say something like this. What project are you working on today that we can help you with? Well, isn't that interesting? What product are you working on? What project are you working on that we can help you with today? Again, the assumption is that they've come into that place and they're going to buy something because they're working on a project. So maybe one strategy, and again, I'd have to know what your product or service is to really address it directly, but let's assume it's a simple product. They're walking in, and the fact that they've walked into your facility means they're somewhat interested in your product already. For example, if I had a travel agency, somebody walked in, I said, where are we going this week? What can we help you get planned? That would be my assumption. So one of the things you have to work on is getting an assumption question right from the beginning. What is that question for you? You have to determine that. I don't know your business. So once you do that, the immediate reaction from the other person is to give you the information, to tell you what they want or what they're working on or where they're going. That's what's powerful about that assumptive question. Now, let's say that they've walked in and they're working on Project A. Now, you want to shift them over to Project B. This is the second part of your question, which is something they haven't seen yet or exhibited interest in. Well, first of all, you need to address Product A. In other words, they came in for Product A or Service A. You need to deal with that one first. And then in that conversation, as you're asking questions, if you want to lead them over to Product B or Service B, then begin to ask questions that lead them over to this. For example, if they're going in there to buy coffee, let's use a Starbucks example, right? Going in there to buy coffee, and they just say, I just want a large coffee, right? Something simple. And then you can say, by the way, do you just want American coffee or do you want some of our other blends? For example, we have a Colombian blend, we have a Kenyan blend, we have several blends that are really just as good as this American coffee. Can I get you to try one at least? Now that's one approach to get me to actually consider something else. See what I mean? If I'm walking into a travel agency and I say, well, I'm thinking of going to China, right? But I want to convince them to go to Melbourne, Australia, right? So once they're there, I can ask them questions about why did you choose China? Why China? What are some of the things you want to see? What are the things you enjoy about traveling? And maybe something that comes out of there, if I ask the right questions, is it's not only about the sightseeing and the sights, but maybe they're adventurous, or maybe they like to go backpacking or hiking. And if they mention hiking and just different things along that line, you say, well, China's all a great location, but I'm also going to mention this other location I think you may want to consider, which is Melbourne, Australia. And if you go out to the outback, so forth and so on, here are some of the things you can also do. So if you really like backpacking, I'd like you to also consider Melbourne, Australia. Get the idea? Your job is to never direct them to a product they don't want. Your job is to talk to them about what they came in to talk about. And then find a way to ask the right questions to expand, educate them on other opportunities or other products that you have to offer. Try this. Let me know how it works. And again, be very respectful. Nobody wants to come in and be switched over to something they don't want or haven't thought about without first addressing what they came in to talk about in the first place. This is Victor Antonio, hoping this helps. And remember, selling ain't hard when you know how. Take care.
Every manager can feel it. The difference between a motivated, value-driven sales team and one that's stuck in a rut. CEOs know the difference too. They can see it clearly in the profit and loss columns. The question is, how do you get your team to this elite level? Is there something extra you can do to break through the remaining resistance and equip them with the right mindset to grow your business? Yes, there is. But you're not going to do it with one of those cheesy inspirational speakers or some self-proclaimed guru. What you need is someone with a real business track record to deliver key insights in a captivating way, to give your team the right tools for selling in today's tough marketplace. Enter Victor Antonio, experienced executive, innovative thinker, compelling speaker. He's ready to deliver the message you need your people to hear. Not with a canned speech, but a customized, dynamic keynote designed to deliver results. Bring Victor Antonio to your next event before the competition does. Go to www.victorantonio.com for more information.